am doing some blackberry jelly from my father-in-law's blackberry bush. I just wanted to show you what I was doing to sort of pop some of the bubbles. I have a Champion juicer and it works wonderfully, but it also for like it puts a lot of air bubbles in there, as you can see. So I was just taking, I don't know if you can see, yeah, with both hands it goes a lot faster. But I'm just popping some of those bubbles in that, but I wanted to show you that. I have 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and this is not a part of the recipe, but it's a little trick to help keep the foam down. That is a tablespoon of butter. I'm going to bring all of this, plus my pectin, which I do not have in there yet. It's 1 box of powdered pectin for this recipe, and this is, I'll write all this in the description also, but this is 3.5 to 4 cups of juice, 1 tablespoon of butter, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 box of powdered pectin. I am using the no sugar added so that I'm much more likely to not have to redo my batch, and 5 cups of sugar. This is actually a recipe from the Bald Blue book. Show you the front of that. This is my Bible. There we go, I'll set it down. It is this book right here. I go to this book so much. It is not even funny. It shows you so many things. If you were to only buy 2 things for canning, you would need a book like this and a canner. Everything else is just window dressing. But this is a great, let me see if I can find my place again. This is a great beginner's book for canning, and that's the recipe I'm using, is the recipe for berry jelly on page 35. It is great. But anyway, what I'm going to do is go ahead and finish doing this off camera so you don't have to watch, and put my pectin in, and I'm going to bring it up to a boil. I just stirred it, so it doesn't look like it's bubbling quite enough yet, but I promise it is. I just stirred it. There you can see it's starting up. I don't like it to be at a full rolling boil or a hard boil when I'm adding my sugar, because I don't want anything to start to stick. So we're just going to add our sugar at this point. Some of the sugar in this recipe, since I'm using no sugar needed pectin. And there we are. And you just sort of, excuse me, I'm doing this one-handed. What you do is you just stir this in. I'm gonna have to set you guys down, but you got to see that. When it comes back up to a rolling boil, I will show you guys what that looks like, so you'll know what to look for. But you want to make sure that at this point you are stirring very well. And I got a little sugar on my spoon. Probably weird, it probably doesn't matter, but I want all the sugar to dissolve. Okay, so since I've added my sugar, I've got my temperature about medium high on my mother-in-law's electric stove. All stoves are different though. So you'll just have to figure out where you are. You don't want it on high. You definitely do not want it on high, because when this really starts going, it will pop on you in a heartbeat. It's kind of like frying something, because the little bubbles, or the juice is so thick that it'll burn you fast. So usually what I do is I keep stirring until I don't feel any more sugar crystals. Doesn't take that long. And then I just wait until I start seeing some bubbles, some big ones. Not too long. I'm going to cut that down a tad. I really miss my gas stove. I gotta tell you, the heat distribution is so much better on a gas stove than electric. Of stuff, so it takes you a minute to get it back up to, excuse me, there's a little lump right there. If you see any lumps, I've never used the no sugar pectin before, and apparently the no sugar needed pectin, it'll lump up on you. I'm not used to that. I don't know, I might not be using this kind of pectin after this batch. It's a learning process though. It's okay if it doesn't look absolutely perfect. If you're not selling it, you're eating it. Trust me, the taste, there is no comparison. Even the expensive kind of jellies and jams at the store just don't even come close to home prepared, which is why I'm spending my entire day doing this. Not to mention the fact that you know that there is no high fructose corn syrup. If you picked your own fruit, you know that there are no pesticides anywhere on that fruit. You know that it was picked, I picked these, my husband helped, but picked these less than 12 hours ago. I juiced them an hour ago, and here they are already being put into a jar. You are almost guaranteed that the stuff you get in the store is not that fresh. Okay. I'm just going to bring you guys over so you can see that it is starting to bubble a little bit. This is the beginnings of a hard boil. And what you want to do is get it to a hard boil before you start counting your 60 seconds of boil time. Constantly want to make sure that you are not letting anything stick to the bottom. Oh, there we go. So what we want to do is cut our heat down, because we are not going to be needing the heat for very long. It'll keep boiling because this is an electric stove. If you're using gas, you won't need to do that. But you don't want it to get too hot. Alright, so you can see what that hard boil looks like, and since that is a wee bit dangerous, I'm going to set you guys down and keep stirring, because on this stove it's a little bit of a dance. Off the heat, on the heat, to keep it from popping. hand and burning me. And you will be able to feel it start to thicken up on you as it does this. And that is a good sign. If it's still, if you don't feel any thickening at all, that's not necessarily a sign that it won't set in your jars. But I have never felt it thicken up still in the pan that it did not set in the jars. So that's a good thing if you notice it. Kind of goes against the grain for normal cooking for things to start getting thick like that, but in canning some jelly, that is a good thing. Okay, we've still got a little bit more time left. Sorry about that. Camera died. So I'm gonna have to go get some more batteries, but I have just enough, I think, to show you this. And that has been boiling for Alright guys, I know I was having some camera troubles. All I did was fill my jars, wiped the rims, put my lids and rings on, and I put them in my canner for 10 minutes once it came up to a good rolling boil. There we go. And there we have it. I got, it would have been 3 pints if I had used all pint jars. Go ahead and show you. But there it is. And it is such a yummy recipe. And all of them have all but one. This is the Walmart brand of canning lid. I decided to try one because I'm just using so many. They're expensive. So I will see if that seals. I'm going to be watching that like a hawk because I'm a little bit leery of using off-brands. But, like I said, just make sure you wipe the rims down, fill your jars, put your lids and rings on, process for 10 minutes in a boiling water canner, and you have blackberry jelly. Hope you guys enjoyed.